Hey guys, Troy here from the Penergy Lifestyle, sharing my life hacks. Today we're going to talk a little bit about understanding your subconscious. So if you're unaware of what your subconscious is, that's basically like an autopilot system that we live on day to day. So it really doesn't require us to have any sort of conscious thought about the things we do, because a lot of the things we do on a daily basis are from our subconscious beliefs and our subconscious conditioning. So to understand the subconscious and what role it plays in our day-to-day life, we really need to go back into our childhood years to understand what's actually happening and where our subconscious sort of gained its development. Now, what happens between the ages of 0 to 7 years old, that is what we call the hypnosis level of brain development, or also known as the theta stage. And what that means is that your environment, your whole environment, so no matter what you're taught consciously by people, what you see, what you hear, what you touch, what you smell, everything that's going on around you, that plays a big role in your development. For, if you bought a computer and it had no running software, that computer is not going to be of much use to you. So when we buy a computer, we have a software system like Mac iOS or your Windows, and that gives us the ability to download other programs, but we have a basis and a foundation for an operating system. And that's what's happening in the early years of our life. So now that can be hugely beneficial depending on the environments you grow up in, but it can also play a massive role in the underdevelopment or the self-sabotaging things that may come up for you in adult life. And what I mean by that is, for an example, I grew up in an environment where there was a lot of love. My parents were very loving, but they had their own issues a lot when I was growing up, and a lot of it was around financial difficulties. We were a very low income family, so we did jump from rental property to rental property, and that was also very much fueled by alcoholism. So they're daily drinkers, and when you have financial struggle and you're mixing alcohol, that starts to play on people's emotions. That can cause a lot of arguments. And for me, there was a lot of domestic verbal abuse within my household as a young kid. So for me, as an adult, I found that there was a lot of subconscious conditioning that was in the background. It's on autopilot. And I think of it this way. When you go to drive a car, you don't need to think about looking in your mirrors, indicating, accelerating, braking, changing gears, looking for traffic. At the start, that happens, and there is, it's quite overwhelming when you first get your license, especially if you go for a manual license and you've got all these things to think about. But it gets to a point where you no longer need to think about it. You jump in a car and you just drive. Half the time you get to your destination, you're like, I don't even really remember the trip, because it becomes autopilot, especially if it's your day-to-day things. You don't have to consciously think about it. But when you realize that there's something in the background, and you may be having failed loving relationships, failed career opportunities, you may have difficulties with friendships, you've really got to take a look at yourself and go, if I'm the common denominator in all this, then there must be something that's causing these issues and these dramas for me in life. And when you really take a step back and are able to have a good, honest look at yourself without judging yourself to the point where you're demonizing yourself, and you're able to look at yourself so that you can come from a growth point of view, you can really start to unlock a lot of amazing things that, whilst they can be scary and hard to look back at and to confront, they are amazingly empowering. That gives you the ability to have the future and to move forward with a life that you actually really desire, instead of being held down and locked in by these subconscious beliefs or these subconscious programs that are holding you or distracting you or preventing you from really taking your own individual happiness, your individual health, your individual wealth to the next level. So when we talk about the subconscious, the problem with the subconscious mind is it's like a supercomputer. It can process like up to 400 billion bits of information a second, whereas the conscious mind can only process up to about 40 bits of information per second. So when you want to create new habits, you've got this supercomputer that's basically running the show. And if these programs are sabotaging your existence, the only way to break them down is through hypnosis, the theta level of thinking. And that's where, you see people who go to hypnotherapy to give up smoking. I mean, I haven't done hypnotherapy myself, but my stepfather, he smoked for, 50 odd years of his life, went to hypnotherapy, and he's been smoke free for 2 to 3 years. So when you understand the application of hypnotherapy and where it's coming from, and when you go into a session, you believe in it, it has the potential to reset your subconscious beliefs. So, I'm a smoker, I'm always going to smoke, to I'm no longer a smoker and I don't need to smoke. And that's where you break the addiction and you break the habit. But the other way is through repetition. So the only way to break existing subconscious beliefs and programming is through repetition. Now we're talking daily repetition that takes a lot of effort. It does. It's not easy, but the rewards are priceless. And this is done in a conscious state. So consciously, daily, you're waking up and you're either got things in place such as meditations, breath works, or physical fitness, nutrition. There's all these combination of things which we provide through Penergy Lifestyle, because these are the things that I've been able to incorporate to turn my life around. And that's why I want to share certain things about lifestyle and change, because it's quite hard. I spent so many years researching, reading to try and turn my life around, and then to be able to put it all together. It'd be nice just to have some little life hacks and to offer things to people that, at least if you take anything out of it, it's the fact that you have an understanding that there is a possibility to change. There are ways to change where you're at, and then at least sets you on a path to go on your own self-discovery and discover more. So when it does come to the subconscious, they are very deeply ingrained within us. It's who we are, but it's not who we have to be. That's the thing. There are plenty of tools that you can access freely through the internet, through educating yourself, through reading, through podcasts, through audiobooks, that can set you on a change that will give you the life you deserve. It'll give you everything that you ever wanted. And it's not some mythical fairy tale BS. It's real. It just requires you to take charge and take that change that you want and start to put it in place. It's about implementing things daily that start to break down the old sabotaging subconscious beliefs and recreating new ones, so that when you wake up, you own the day. Because at the end of the day, everything we do in life is just a series of decisions and choices we make. Now, whether we make the right ones or the wrong ones, for me personally, there are no wrong ones, because if I do something that is outside of the future and the goals and aspirations I want to have, it teaches me a lesson to not make the same mistakes again. So, repetition. Repetition, repetition, repetition. That is the key to anything that you want to be successful in life. Whether it's changing your physique or how you look or how you feel, to whether it's a career path, a business opportunity, you have to repetitively go after what you want and stick to it. And by doing that, you create new neurological pathways that give you better habits that project you forward to where you want to go. So if you're struggling in day-to-day life, let's take a deeper look at what is your programming. What happened potentially in your childhood? What happened in your teens? What happened in early adulthood by the decisions and choices you made? Because they could be having a direct effect on your adult life now and the decisions you make and the choices that are happening for you. So don't be scared to have a look at yourself. I have to tell you, it is the most empowering thing that's ever happened to me, to be able to honestly look at myself and go, I'm not happy with this. I deserve more. I want more. And I'm going to create more for me personally. If you've got any questions, at all, anything at all, please reach out. I love sharing my story. I think the most empowering thing in life is sharing stories with others, other people who understand, other people who have potentially been there, other people that want to change. That's how we grow, by life experience and through sharing our stories. If you're liking the content that you see, my journey now is just sharing things that I've found that have helped me. And I just want you to be able to understand that wherever you are, you have the ability to change. There is more to your life. You have so much future ahead of you that you mostly can't see now. We get stuck in the tunnel. We get stuck down the rabbit hole. And I get that. I've been there. I've been stuck there. You know, the darkness of depression can set in. The feeling of unworthiness, the negative self-talk we tell each other, or tell ourselves, I should say. That's got to stop. That has to stop for you to progress. If you're liking anything that I'm putting out, please, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's daily and weekly stuff put out there. My Facebook, Instagram, all the socials. Just reach out, because sharing is caring. That sounds pretty lame, I guess, but it's true. When you can share and you care about yourself and the people around you, anything is possible. Change is possible. Growth is possible. Happiness is possible. Love is possible. Everything that you want is possible. You've just got to reach out. You've just got to say, today I'm making the change. Today I'm doing this for me. Today I deserve the best. Because when I have the best, I become the best. And when I become my best, I become the best for everyone else around me. So if you don't understand what's going on in the background, look up your subconscious conditioning, learn more about it, and find ways to change. Find ways to give yourself the quality of life you deserve.